So our first lesson is just going to be all about number value. This curriculum is just going back all the way to the very basic fundamental mathematical concepts. So we're starting very early on. I will say part of this lesson you will use in adulthood when it comes to using words to write. So when we do, those of you who will take consumer math with me, we'll do a whole unit on banking, and you'll have to know how to write numbers in words. So that part you will be using a lot. But this lesson is just about understanding the value of numbers. First topic is place value. Now we do place value super early on in mathematics, in algebra, and in higher level math. You don't talk a whole lot about it. But this is one of those things that you just should know. Now, there's a difference in the place and the value of a digit. And a digit is just a one number thing. It's called a digit. Now, the place is the position. Oh my, let me just rewrite that because that was terrible. Position, P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N. So the position of a digit within a number is the place. The value is how much a digit is worth. So, for example, this 8 is in the ones place. The position is the ones place. The value is 8 because it's in the ones place. The position of this 5 is the hundreds. The value of this 5 is 500. The place of this 7 is hundredths. The value is 7 hundredths. Now, place value starts with the ones. Some curriculums call it the units place. And the reality is, if we're reading this word out, we would say 642,538. You don't really say hundredths place. Well, you say 500, but you don't say 3/10. You just say 30, 40, 50, and then the ones place doesn't even use the name. So that's not hugely important. Remember, when you are dealing with decimals, there's no oneths. It starts with the tenths. So let's talk about this decimal. Decimals, I hate decimals. I don't like them at all. I would rather have a fraction than a decimal any day. So these individually are digits. Digit, digit, digit. It creates a number. Within this number, this value of 6, it's in the tenths place. So I can use words to write out 6/10ths, or I can simply put 6/10ths, or I can put point. This is not necessarily going to help me with the value because all I've done is rewrite it. So when it's asking for the value, it kind of wants it written like this. And when we do, what's the word? Expanded notation, that's how we're going to use it. So the value of that 6, sorry about that big yawn, the value of the 6 is 6/10ths. This 2 is in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So its place value is the thousandths place. And I could write the word thousandths out, or I can write it like this. Either one of those is sufficient. When I write out a regular number, just 642,538.179, that is called standard form. That is just standard form. There's a thing called expanded form and another thing called expanded notation. Expanded form is when I simply write it out by its value, 600,000, 40,000, 2,000, and I write it out by its value here. Expanded notation, which is probably what we see more often. Expanded notation is when you take the digit and multiply it by its place value. So this 6 is in the 100,000, and this line is way too little to fit this. 100,000. 10,000. The 4 is in the 10,000. The 2 is in the 1,000. The 5 is in the 100 spot. 3 is in the 10 spot. 8 is in the 1 spot. Now when we get to the decimals, we're going to write it like this. 1 is in the tenths. 7 is in the hundredths. And 9 is in the thousandths. And you guys probably did this a very long time ago, just a remembering of expanded form or expanded and expanded notation. This is what we're going to see more often. I am almost positive all of your worksheets and homework ask for expanded notation, not expanded form. Now, later on in life, there are going to be times that you're going to have to write out things. When you write a check, there's a line on there that you have to write out the amount of money that you want to make the check out for in words. When we make a withdrawal at our bank, we have to fill out a withdrawal form, and I have to write the numerical value, and I have to use words to write. So this is one of those things that you will be doing throughout your life. So there's some rules. When we are writing words, if I have a, well, I was reading the wrong one. You're going to use a comma. I don't like the way this curriculum words this. It says use place, name at each comma. Look, if I have this number, actually let's just make this real easy and do this. This number is 1001. When I use words to write, I need to put a comma where there's a comma. 1,000, comma, 1. If I am writing 1,000,000, 1,000, I'm going to write 1,000,000, comma, 1,000, comma, 1. So when there is a comma in the actual number, which is after every 3 numbers, I'm going to put a comma in the words. If I am writing a 2-digit number, 2-digit number is not really the best wording of this because 19 is a 2-digit number. If I am writing a word that has a number that has 2 words, 22, 37, 95, I have to put a hyphen. So this is a 2-digit number that has 2 words. This is a 2-digit number, but it's only 1 word, 20. That doesn't require a hyphen. 95 does, and I put it between the words. Okay, so use a hyphen between 2-word numbers. If there is a decimal, I use the word and. This number is not 101. This number is 101. This number is 101/10. You only use the word and when there is a decimal, which doesn't feel natural because we're used to saying, 150 is 150. Just 150. Okay? So this number here is 67 and forgot that. 67 and now when you do decimals, get like a regular number and then put the place value. Tenths, hundredths. So I don't need a comma in here because there's nothing bigger than hundreds. I do need a hyphen, 60-7 and 89 hundredths. Another basic concept, but the reality is a lot of people forget how to round because it's not something we do very often. And this has 4 steps here. Find the place and underline it. So if I'm going to round this number 18.326, and I'm told to round to the nearest hundreds, nearest tenth. This is a terrible example on this that I pulled out of the curriculum we're using because that is being rounded to the nearest tenth. So let's just do this. Round to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to underline the tenth. I'm going to look at the number just behind that. If it is 4 or below the number stays. If it is 5 or more, the number goes up, and everything after becomes zeros. Hopefully you remember how to round. If not, let me know. All right, this next part is your air quote in-class assignment. This next sheet, you can just pause the video and you need to answer these questions, and then you need to text it to me during the week, or if you're on campus on Wednesdays. I have a break on Wednesdays. I forgot what time. I'll look it up and let you know, and you can bring this to me so I can check it for an in-class grade. So here is the sheet. If you will just work this on notebook paper, you can, like I said, bring it to me. I'm looking right now to see when my break is. On Wednesdays, you can, I'll be in my junior high room on Wednesdays from 11 to 11:30 without anybody in there. I think that's the right time. It is 11 to 11:30. You can bring me anything that you want me to check for the week. And I can check that, or if you get this done, take a picture of it, send it to me, and I will give you credit for an in-class assignment. All right, so just do what it says and text it to me. There is an assignment on Easy Test Maker, I believe is what it's called. My brain just totally quit working. That should be linked where this homework is linked for you to do for your actual homework. We're going to do as much homework on there as we can so that you don't have to hunt me down. That's why you can text me your in-class work, and I'll give you credit for that, and then you can find the link on your online homework. I do have handouts of that if it's easier for you to come by and pick that up, do all the problems, and then insert those answers online. The reason we're going to do that, I know that may be more work for you a little bit, but it's much easier for me to get on there and grade it, and then you don't have to worry about hunting me down and keeping up with things for an online class. Alrighty, that's it.